What's up, everyone? This is the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So this is Business Mondays with the Minister of Beauty, and so this is a topic that I wanted to just talk about briefly. It's definitely a little bit controversial, but it's nothing new, and unfortunately it is nothing new. But I saw this video recently and it disturbed me so much. And when I say it's unfortunately nothing new, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, but I felt that as a black woman, obviously I am, and I am a business owner, and I've been a business owner, and more particularly I'm a licensed esthetician. So I provide beauty services, and I've been doing this since 2008. I have definitely been blessed to have a very rare occurrence of disgruntled people that has crossed the threshold of my business, and I do believe that a lot of it has to do with, I'm just putting it out there, the type of clientele that I choose to attract, and that how I operate my business. I don't attract certain types of clientele, and that's not talking about race. I'm talking about the minority of ugly people with ugly characteristics who are just very disrespectful, and that can come in any ethnicity and in any race, and it does, because it's not just a certain ethnicity of people that act in this way. So we've seen the videos of what we call, or I will say what the term has become called Karens, which to me is a little bit funny, because one of my longest coming clients to my business is named Karen, and she is a Caucasian woman, and she is one of the sweetest people in the world, and she comes faithfully every 4 or 5 weeks for her eyelash services, and she has been nothing short of amazing. So I know that's just a term and a phrase, but what I want to do is I want to let you watch and listen to this quick video, and then I'm going to get back on my subject.
Okay, we don't do good now for you.
Okay, well this is where I got my full set at, so somebody's gonna fix my nail.
We don't fix for you anymore.
Well, you gonna fix it. Somebody's gonna fix it. Somebody is gonna fix it.
We don't fix for you no more.
Okay, well it's gonna get fixed. I'm tired of this. I was the one who spent my money.
I don't care. We work for you.
Y'all wrong people, and I'm tired of this because you messing with the wrong one. You are messing with the wrong one. And then you wanna apologize? That's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Hell wrong with you. You not gonna talk to me like that. I spent my hard-earned money. I spent my hard-earned money. My hard-earned money. My hard-earned money. Shit, call me. Because they got the wrong fucking one. I am not the one. I will beat y'all ass. I don't give a fuck. Let them come, because you got me all the way messed up.
Okay,
shit, y'all think y'all gonna rob me or continue to rob people that spend their hard-earned money? Every other day, my nail has broken. It's y'all low-ass quality. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna get my shit fixed. Period. You heard what I said, though. You say what? Lady, you don't look, Brenda. They messing with the wrong one. I could care less.
We have a jumbo in the nail. Yes, ma'am.
You heard what the hell I said. And I'm gonna stand right here because the police don't scare me. I stay right down the street. The police don't scare me.
Please, we need help now.
You need help. You wanna cry? You wanna act like a victim? And you robbing me?
We don't do nothing.
Hell wrong with you?
You come to help.
Bitch, cause you tired of fixing the nails that y'all have, girl. So I'm gonna wait here until the police come. I'm gonna wait. The fuck wrong with you? Girl, you heard what I said. Girl, call mom and tell her to bring her ass right back. Tell her to come bring her ass right back. Shit, cause she got something. I'm saying you got the wrong one. And then you gonna try to discontinue my services after you embarrassed.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize to me. Don't apologize to me. Because I done came in here multiple times for giving your behind. And anybody else, but you ain't gonna talk to me like that. I spent my money. My money, bitch. You can't threaten No, bitch, you want to be embarrassed? This low ass quality shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? I spent $260 on my hands and my feet. I don't want to hear none of that.
I'm kind of at a loss for words, and obviously I shouldn't be because I'm creating a video right now, but that is just so disturbing. And if you listen to the words that were spoken, and it may be a little bit hard to understand the service provider and what she was saying, God bless her. I felt sorry for the lady. Now, one, you see the words on the video screen from the TikTok video. It says they fixed her nail for free 3 times in the past week. Now, for those who are on the side of this customer, they may be saying, well, obviously they did a bad job or it's poor quality work because she had to come in 3 times to get the nail fixed. Now, I don't get my nails done, obviously you can see. And that's another story I'll maybe talk about at another time. But that is one of the things that is very troubling when you are a service provider. When someone leaves, you cannot account for what they have done. They can tell you that they didn't do anything out of the ordinary. If she got her nails done, she could say, I didn't touch anything. I had someone opening and closing my car door. I had someone opening and closing my house door. I didn't have to touch anything. I had somebody washing my body and brushing my teeth. I just kept my hands in the air and the nail broke. And I'm just obviously being facetious when I say that, but what I mean by that is, one, as a service provider myself, when people leave, you cannot account for what is happening after they leave the threshold of your business. So if something happens with regard to the service that you provided, as good customer service, if that customer or client contacts you in a reasonable period of time, then you try your best to try to fix what they say is the problem. But if this happened 3 times in the past week, maybe it's not the service that was received, and maybe it's the person who received the service. Now, I don't know, but whether it is or it isn't, if the service is that bad and she is yelling about, she keeps coming here and keeps getting this low quality service, why do you keep coming there? And then you're demanding in a threatening way that this person fix it. You're saying you're not going to leave. You don't care if they call the police. One, like, the woman was obviously scared, and I don't know if she said she was going to call the police or someone else in there said that they were going to contact the police. But that should have been, once this woman started yelling and acting in a threatening manner, they should have just contacted the police anyway. She cannot make this person provide a service for her over and over again. This is America. We do have the right to refuse service to people, and it doesn't mean that you're discriminating. You could have a reason, like in this situation, she felt threatened. I would feel threatened too if someone came to my business and acted that way. But I will say that if you Google nail salon fights, you'll come up with a lot of them, because that tends to be where a lot of these types of situations in the beauty industry more so happen, versus in a beauty business that is, I'm just being honest, so I'm not trying to offend anyone, but that's not predominantly ran by Asians or Asian Americans, because unfortunately there is this thing out there where some people say, well, when they go to these businesses, they don't feel respected. The people who work there don't speak the language to them the majority of the time, and they feel like they're talking about them in a negative way, so it makes them feel uncomfortable, or they feel like they're being rushed, or they're being spoken to, if they are being spoken to in the English language, they're being spoken to in a rude manner. And that happens too. So sometimes there's blame on both sides. But in this situation, I'm not talking about the blanketed whole of nail salons that are predominantly ran and operated by Asians or Asian Americans, but this situation. And in this situation, that customer and client was flat out wrong. And she did have the right to refuse service by saying, I'm not going to fix your nail anymore. When she said, I'm not going to fix your nail anymore, maybe she could have diffused the situation a little bit by just saying, here, we're going to give you a refund. Because sometimes, and it's happened, like I said, operating my business and having employees as well, thankfully we have not had many situations where we've had a disgruntled person like that, but there have been a few times where someone was demanding to be seen in a time where they couldn't be seen, there was no availability or whatever the situation was, and I was, you know, just in this space of, well, look, we don't have to provide service for this person, so just let them know that we don't have anything available, and if they had received a service prior and they wanted to come in to get something quote unquote fixed, we're just going to give them their money back, because really their money is not that necessary to this business. So I can count on one hand the times that has happened, but we have done that because they may be still upset, but you give them that money back and then they'll tend to just leave. And so in this situation, if the company, the nail salon, the woman that was speaking to this person or whoever, maybe she didn't have the authority to do that, but maybe she could have checked with someone else to say, can we just give this lady a refund so we can get her the hell up out of here? Then maybe that would have helped to diffuse the situation. But this woman saying, call the police, I don't care, I'm not afraid of the police. At that very moment, she should have had the police on, you know, on the phone and asking them to come to that business to say they're being threatened. Because if you're going to say to a business to a service provider in there that you're not afraid of the police, you don't know what that person's next step would have been. I don't know if she was carrying. I don't know if she knew someone that was carrying. But people are these days crazy, and you just can't put anything past people. So I talked about this in a previous video where I'll try to put the link to that in the description box or show that video on this video if you haven't watched that video before, where I talked about a situation where I gave a client a refund, not that we owed it to her, but just to be done with her, because she involved her husband in the situation and she was contacting the manager of my business, and he was contacting the manager of my business to make underlying threats. I was like, their money is just not that important to this business. Let's just be done with them and be rid of them, because this is really ridiculous over a beauty service. And in situations like this, it is usually people that spend the least amount of money that will give you the most problems. I'll give you an example, and I'll show a meme, which is absolutely hilarious, but it is true a lot of times, where you will have a client that spends the most amount of money and they are just as sweet and kind and as gentle as you could ever wish for. And then that person that barely spent anything may have had a discount, may have, if you have this type of business where you have coupons or things like that, they want the world on a platter. And they didn't even spend as much money as some of your other clients or customers that spend more money, and they're giving you the most problems. So I'm not saying that you have to operate a business where all of your services or products or whatever it is you offer in your business has to be higher tier, higher priced. But there's a market for everyone and everything. And if you don't want to attract a certain type of clientele, then there's some things that you need to do in your business to prevent that from happening. Now, in my business, the majority of my eyelash services are higher tier. I do have options for lower tier price services to introduce people who have not had the experience of having their lashes done before. And I did this many, many years ago, before eyelash extensions were even a thing, so that I could help people who were getting these horrible lashes, speaking of nail salons, at these nail salons that really don't have any business touching anyone's eyes or their eyelashes. But that's another story in itself as well. And I wanted to be able to help people, but it's not just about helping people monetarily. They have to have the mindset of wanting higher and wanting better for themselves. So in my business, I have clientele that are Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, even Asian. And I'm grateful that I service a multitude of ethnicities, but the majority of the people that I work with, it's not about the race, it is about the content of their character. And I attract higher quality characteristics to my business because of the way I have operated my business over the years. And that's just the truth. And that's not to say that if you operate a business, just giving an example, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, but if you choose to operate a business where the majority of your clientele are just one type of ethnicity, and the prices of the services or products that you offer are lower tier, then you're going to attract a certain type of customer or client to your business. And again, I'm not saying that a certain type of ethnicity and a certain type of budget is going to have that lady that I just, showed the video about, that type of characteristic about them, but it does kind of wallow in that territory. It really does. And it's just, I don't know why. I can't give the answer as to why, but it just is what it is. When you operate your business in a certain type of way and you are operating as the expert, you have a clear line of who you want to serve and what you want to offer and what your costs are, the investments for the services or products that you're offering, then you will definitely attract that. I started my business in 2008 and I had a client that started coming to me in 2009. She had a previous bad experience getting her lashes done and she had never gotten them done before. So she found me, she came in to see me, and she's Caucasian, just putting it out there. And she said, well, I don't really know what I need. I booked for a maintenance appointment, but the way my eyes feel and the way my lashes look, I'm not really sure if it's possible, but I trust your judgment. Please let me know. And I looked at her lashes, did a clear, consultation with her and went through everything through her eyes just to see if it was workable, and it wasn't. So I said, I hate to say this, but unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to work over this work. I would need to remove them. So I would recommend we do a full removal and let's start with a fresh full set. And she said, okay, let's do it. So I did that. And back then it took me a couple of hours to do that. But once we were done, I gave her the mirror to look, and she was standing up when I gave her the mirror. And I'll never forget this, she dropped the mirror on the treatment table and she just turned around and hugged me so tight, and she said, oh my God, I had no idea that they were supposed to look like this and I don't even feel them. And she was a faithful client every week or every 2 weeks from 2009 up until about 6 years ago. And then unfortunately she got sick, and thankfully she's doing better now. Well, last month she reached out and she said, I really miss you. I want to get my lashes back. And she came in and I was so excited to see her, and we just, embraced each other, and she was just so excited to get her lashes back, but also excited to see me. And I'm so grateful that when I began my business, I started out operating in a way where I knew that I wanted to attract a certain type of clientele. So that client that came back to see me 6 years later, when she was ready to get her lashes done again, she could have went to any other business, because now, there are a lot more people doing it versus when I started back in 2008. I was one of the first in my state to offer eyelash extensions. So she could have went anyplace else, but she reached back out to me, and that says a lot. It definitely means a lot. But if you operate in a certain type of way, it will help to detract people like this crazy that was in this nail salon going off. And it says a lot also wearing the bonnet out in public, but that's another story. I'm sorry, I'm just going off on a little bit of a tangent, but that's something else that just kind of irks me a good bit. But again, I don't attract that type of clientele to my business, and unfortunately, the way a lot of the nail salons like that do work, those types of personalities and characteristics are more so attracted to go to those places like that, because they often just don't really care, and they feel that they have the right to speak to somebody that way. And she absolutely did not. You cannot treat people that way. I don't care if you spent $1 million there. It doesn't give you the right to act in that way. So that video just disturbed me so much. I really would love to know what you guys think about it in the comment section, because I haven't done a video like this before on this channel, but I really was disturbed by it. And just being in this industry that we call beauty, I've often said that the beauty industry can be very ugly, and these are one of the things that can be extremely ugly in this beauty industry. So let me know your thoughts about it in the comments section. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did share on today's video. And guys, I really appreciate you liking, commenting, and subscribing to the Minister of Beauty channel. And again, I share the Bible, that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next time, I hope you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.